Hey everyone, I just wanted to share my journey with you over the last 6 months since working with Holly. So, a little bit about me. My name is Sharon Crombie. As you can tell, I'm from the UK originally and migrated to Australia almost 5 years ago now. I have spent 20 years working in corporate, and about 2 years ago, I decided that I'd had enough. I've got two little girls, Freya and Isla, who are 6 and 4 now. All I could envision was that my whole life was consumed with work, and my values are so strong with my family, and I just felt like my family was missing out because I was working all the hours under the sun. And so I made a decision. I was going to quit corporate and I was going to set up my own bookkeeping practice and thought it was going to be easy. However, it was not as easy as what I thought it was going to be, and all of the, getting clients wasn't as easy as what I thought was going to be. And then when I did take on clients, they weren't clients that were aligned with my values. They were clients that didn't want to pay. They were clients that didn't see the value in what I was doing for them, didn't appreciate what I was doing for them. And so I was at complete conflict, really, that this was way too hard. This was not what I was expecting. I knew that I had so much to offer, and yet I was starting to hit rock bottom. I was considering going back to work. I was considering doing, to be honest, I didn't really care what I did at that stage. I was at the stage that I wasn't even sure I wanted to stay in finance anymore. Luckily, I met Holly, and on talking to her, I realize, deals with people like me all the time that are at crisis point. They don't know which direction they want to go in. There's all these roadblocks. There's all these, I guess you just start focusing on the negative. So I was working with Holly for probably a couple of months. And even though I was starting to see a shift in my mindset in terms of the business, what I didn't do was change my mindset in terms of my family. So I didn't engage them in any way, shape, or form in my business. I kind of kept that very separate. And as a result, I probably reached a crisis point in my marriage as well, because, I did not accept that Ray was trying to support me. All he could see was that he was working all the hours under the sun trying to support me and my business. It caused so many rows because he was working all the hours thinking that that's what he needed to do in order to provide for us. And it was just a disaster. Holly was amazing. When I reached out to her and said to her everything that was going on, I'd kind of initially only spoken to her about my business, but when I realized that the two things are actually linked and go hand in hand, she sent me the most amazing audio, just so that I could calm down, just so that I could look at things from a different perspective. And it just totally, totally changed. I stopped being so consumed with the direction that I was going on my own and started, kind of including Ray and everything. And as a result of changing the mindset, I guess that's when things started to flow a little bit. So I managed to secure a casual contract, which took the financial pressure off while I was growing the business. I did what they wanted me to do and did 4 hours every single day, which I realized was not in alignment with what I wanted to do. Also meant I didn't have any time to work on my business. Holly gave me the confidence to say to them to go in with the intention that I actually only wanted to work those hours over a day and a half, which then gave me back more time to concentrate on my business. It gave me more time to concentrate on my girls. And whereas I would never have done that before, I literally went into him. I didn't dread going into him. I just set the intention. This is what I want. No issue whatsoever. He came back and he was perfectly happy with that. And I honestly could not believe how easy this actually is. But sometimes we just create this whole drama of how we think things are going to unfold, whereas if we just set the intention of what we want it to be, changes everything. So Holly's been amazing for me in that respect. She's helped me massively. She also got me, which is something I've never done before, she got me to write a letter to myself as if I was a third person. And I realized you would never ever speak to somebody else the same way that you speak to yourself. So I kind of wrote down, I've, started my affirmations every day, which for me is just a really important thing that I do now. So my affirmations are all, focused on the good stuff every day, that, I am amazing, I am worthy. Failure and fear now do not even come into my vocabulary. Just been the most amazing journey ever. So since then I've taken on 4 new clients. They are 4 perfect clients. They fit with my values. They just awesome. It's just so good working with them. So yeah, definitely for anybody that's even thinking about doing this, if you're sitting on the fence and you're umming and ahhing, honestly, I cannot recommend it enough, because the problem is sometimes you think you know all this stuff and you've got it all in your head, but for me, I didn't. I thought that I did, and I thought that everything I was doing was the right way to do it. But sometimes just having that support and guidance there, and somebody that's on your side, she doesn't judge you, she doesn't critique you, she literally supports you in everything that you are doing. So I would totally recommend using Holly. And Holly, you have just been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.